Dear students, our today's topic is to study about the autosomal and sex-linked inheritance. It means how the deceased genes or abnormal genes are transferred or translocated through the autosomal and sex chromosomes, and what the behavior these chromosomes or these genes shows in male and female. This will be studied all about in this presentation. As we know that there are 46 chromosomes in each diploid human cells, and these 46 chromosomes are grouped into 23 homologous pairs, and the first 22 pairs, that is the 44 chromosomes, are known as autosomes, and these chromosomes are equivalent or similar in both male and female. However, the difference is in the last pair, that is the 23rd pair in male and female. In female, this 23rd pair has two X chromosomes, and these X chromosomes are the sex chromosomes in human female. However, in male, the last 23rd pair constituted by one X and one Y chromosome, and in male, this X and Y constitute the sex chromosome. The X comes from the mother, however the Y is donated by the father, whereas in the female, one X is transferred or donated by the mother, however the other X is donated by the father. The slide shows the normal human male karyotype and normal human female karyotype. Karyotype is the arrangement of the chromosomes. All 46 chromosomes, when grouped together and arranged according to their decreasing order of size. That is, if the first group of chromosome is the longest chromosome, and if these chromosomes are arranged in such a way that progressively their size decreases, and then we will have all 23 pairs, and the first 22 pairs are same in both male and female. However, the difference is in 23rd pair or the sex chromosome pair, as clearly indicated here that in male the karyotype has one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. This X chromosome of male is sufficiently larger than the Y chromosome. It means both X and Y chromosome share very minimum area of genes or homology, shows very limited area of homology. Whereas in the human female, the 23rd pair is constituted by two X chromosome, and these X chromosomes are equal in length, and this shows the human male and female karyotype, that is the arrangement of the all total 46 chromosomes. This chart shows the human genetic disease and grouped into on the basis of the vehicles of the inheritance or the vehicle of the transfer, that the autosomal inheritance and sex-linked inheritance. Autosomal inheritance is that when the deceased genes or the deceased character is transmitted through autosome chromosomes, that out of any of the 44 chromosomes, either in pair or homologous pair or any single chromosome of a homologous pair, may transfer a deceased gene towards the offspring. Similarly, the sex-linked inheritance, it means sex-linked, that these deceased genes or these abnormal genes are translocated on sex chromosomes, and as we know, there are X and Y chromosomes are the sex chromosomes in human beings. So the deceased genes, when translocated on X and Y chromosome, is known as sex-linked inheritance. In both autosomal and sex-linked inheritance, the disease or the condition is both dominant as well as recessive in both cases, and the disease examples are given below of each category. That autosomal dominant, the examples are Huntington disease, hypercholesterolemia. Autosomal recessive is cystic fibrosis, phenylketonuria. Sex-linked dominant is vitamin D resistant rickets and cranio-frontonasal dysplasia, and sex-linked recessive is the red-green color blindness and hemophilia A and B, and this is the most commonly discussed or read genetic disease, and it is the sex-linked recessive disease. each gene occupy a specific location or a locus on chromosome, so that if both members of a gene pair are identical, then the individual is homozygous, as represented here with this diagram. As we can see that if this is a homologous pair of two chromosomes, this is first chromosome of homologous pair, this is second chromosome of same pair, and this red dot indicates two genes. As these two reds are same in appearance, same in characteristics, so we can say that these two are supposed to genes. And when this condition occurs, that two alleles or the two genes, it means both the alleles are same on homologous chromosome, then this condition is homozygous. And due to mutation, any one allele may undergo a change, as is represented with this changed color on this gene, and then this becomes a heterozygous condition. Similarly, this another gene may undergo mutation, and if this becomes again like this gene, then this will become a homozygous condition. So any gene, when it is mutated and the gene pair becomes or the allele becomes a heterozygous condition, and then if any disease occurs, then this is known as the dominant disease. And when the disease is expressed only when both the genes should be mutated, it means in homozygous condition, that when a mutated gene expresses itself in a mutated condition, then we call it a homozygous condition. This figure shows the symbols used in pedigree construction. Pedigree is a familial history, that we construct a family history, a family tree, that how the individuals are born and what about the parents and their siblings and many other relatives, and that's why information is obtained. So each generation is given a Roman numeral 1 to 3rd, and each individual within a generation is assigned an Arabic number 1 to 3 and 4 and so on. So here the symbols are used to construct a pedigree analysis. So here this rectangle shows a male, this is circle shows a female, and when this rectangle and circle is colored or filled, then this is known as affected individual, both affected male and affected female. This joint, this line shows the mating or the marriage, and this arrangement shows their children's and their arrangement, that first this is a son and then the daughter, and this Roman numeral is the generation. So these parents are representing first generation, and these children are showing the second generation, and their arrangement in second generation, their sequence shows their sequence of birth. It means if this son is given number 1, it means he was the first born, then again the second son was born, and then the last was the girl or the daughter, and this second son is now colored, it means this son is deceased. So various symbols are used to study the pedigree analysis. This figure shows the human autosomal dominant inheritance, and as the term indicates, human autosomal dominant, it means that only one gene must be having a mutated gene, and when any one chromosome has a mutated allele and then that mutated gene shows its phenotypic effect, then that is called a dominant inheritance. As we can see that this is a normal parent, but another parent is affected as written here. It means why it is affected, even only one X chromosome or only one autosome has a mutated gene, but another autosome is normal. But what happens, that any individual that receives this mutated chromosome or mutated gene will show the diseased phenotype. So here this genotype may be of a female or male, because this is an autosomal inheritance, so the autosomes are same in male and female. So here these two genotypes, these genotypes may belong to any sex, and if this condition arises that only one chromosome has a mutated allele or mutated gene, then the expected proportion of affected individuals will be 50%. However, the other 50% of individuals or offsprings or childs will be normal because they do not receive any chromosome that bears a mutated or defected gene. This right hand side shows the pedigree analysis. The first generation, here the mother is defected and the father is normal, and again they are mating and they produce this first son, then a daughter, then a son, and again a son. But here we can see that this daughter as well as this son is affected, and in third generation once again both male and female are affected. So autosomal dominant inheritance is that it expresses itself in among all generations, and every generation has an affected individual, both male and female may be affected. So this type of inheritance, when the diseased or the mutated gene express itself in all generations, then it represents an autosomal dominant inheritance. Now the case for human autosomal recessive disorder, and one should be careful about the recessive condition, that a recessive gene expresses itself when it becomes homozygous, that both the chromosomes should be a defected gene or mutated gene, then only the mutated or defected phenotype is expressed. So here we can see that these are the parents, and each parent has only one chromosome with a defected gene. So this parent is normal in itself, but this parent can transmit this mutated gene to their offspring. Similarly, this another parent is normal, so these normal parent, but they can carry the mutated gene to their children, are known as carrier parents, and this is gamete formation. And after fusion of gametes, that every individual, there are if 4 individuals and every individual has a chance of 25% of origin, then this individual which is now a homozygous for this diseased gene, it means both the chromosome has now the diseased gene, so this individual has become a homozygous for this recessive gene, recessive mutated gene, and this individual will be affected. But here this type of genotype, that when only one chromosome has an affected gene but another chromosome, and that another chromosome or the homologous chromosome has the normal allele of the same mutated gene, and here the normal allele or the normal gene express its normal phenotype and the defected gene cannot express its phenotype. So here this type of genotype, when only one chromosome has a mutated gene and another chromosome is normal, so these individuals will be carriers, and it includes total 50%, that is 50% individuals will be carrier, either male or female, and rest 25% of individuals, either male or female, will be normal because they will receive no any chromosome having a mutated or defected gene located on it. And here on right hand side, this pedigree analysis is represented. This is first generation, and this is mother and this is father, and after their mating these are their children. But in second generation there is expression of the disease in this son as well as in daughter, and again in the third generation this daughter when marries a deceased male and again produces the deceased children. But here we can see that in second and third generation there is expression of disease, but not in first generation. It means the recessive gene may not express in all generation, it expresses only in few generations and not in all generations, unlike the human dominant autosomal condition. So we can see that here the both mother and father may be the carrier for the gene, and here when the homozygous condition occurs in the female, then the female becomes the deceased. But in male, and if the male shows this phenotypic effect, this disease condition, and because the male has only one X chromosome, and if that only one autosomal pair, and if that autosome has only one mutated copy, then this should not be represented, but it means this son receives the mutated allele from both of the parents, and the both parents are the carrier for this mutated allele. So this is the human autosomal recessive disorder. Now the case for sex-linked inheritance, and as we have already discussed that sex-linked means these type of genes are translocated on sex chromosome, that is on X and Y chromosomes. So in human female there are two X chromosomes, and in male there is only one X chromosome. So in human male that there is only one copy of all genes present on X chromosome, and in that case the human male is known as hemizygous. And as there is very few similarity or very few common sequences between X and Y chromosome, so if any X chromosome or the X chromosome of male is having a defected gene, then that gene will have a phenotype or phenotypic expression in males. So and female have two X chromosome, and if any one X chromosome is mutated or the genes on one X chromosome are mutated, and those mutated gene hide or inhibit the expression of normal allele on another X chromosome, then that is called dominant sex-linked inheritance. And when the mutated allele should be present on both the X chromosome of human female, then that is called the homozygous sex-linked or recessive sex-linked inheritance. And in human beings the two types of diseases, that is color vision and hemophilia, is a sex-linked recessive inheritance that is discussed. So we have here two examples of X-linked recessive characters in humans. One is the red-green color blindness and another one is hemophilia. In red-green color blindness, that the person with the red-green color blindness, it is a vision disorder that the person cannot recognize the red and green color, and it is due to the defect in certain proteins in the eyes of these defected persons. And there are two separate genes for the recognition of red and green color, and when these genes present on X chromosome are mutated or defected, then that person cannot sense the color, particularly red and green. And another one disease is the hemophilia, and in this type of disease the blood coagulation does not take place, and as this is a sex-linked X-linked recessive character, so as a male has only one X chromosome, and if that X chromosome has a mutated gene for red and green color sensitivity and the blood clot or the protein for blood clot formation, if both the genes those are present on X chromosome and are mutated, then that male or that individual will be defected or affected. So in majority of cases these two types of diseases are generally observed in males, because male has only one X chromosome, and if in females there are however two X chromosomes, and if one X chromosome has a mutated gene but other X chromosome is normal, then that female is heterozygous for mutated allele, and the normal allele will express its normal phenotype, so the female will be carrier for that gene, but she will be normal in her life. So this type of disease is generally expressed by male, because male has only one X chromosome and he is hemizygous. So here this figure shows the condition of homozygous and heterozygous condition for human females, and as is represented, suppose these are two X chromosome and this green plus indicates a normal functioning gene, and suppose this gene is for red or green color vision or sensitivity, or the for hemophilia, or the production of the protein for blood coagulation, and if these genes are normal and present on two X chromosome, then this female is homozygous for normal color vision or the hemophilic gene, and the female will be normal. And if one X chromosome has this mutated copy of gene or allele and another X chromosome has the normal functioning allele, then this normal allele will have a dominant effect on this mutated allele. It means this normal allele will express a normal phenotype. It means this female is now heterozygous because one X chromosome has mutated allele and another X chromosome has a normal allele of these gene, and then this female will be normal. She will continue to sense the colors, she will have no symptoms of color blindness, and the female will be, or the mother will be normal, but she will be the carrier for this defected gene to her children's. And this is the third condition, that when both the X chromosome has the mutated copy of allele, so here that this gene will express itself, or the normal effect or normal protein of these gene will not be produced, so there will be no sensation for color and the female will be color blind. And what in case of the male, as this is an X chromosome, this is Y chromosome, and both the chromosomes show very little homology, and if this X chromosome has a normal allele of this gene, then the male will be normal. It means he will continuously sense the color and he will not be hemophilic, whatever the case. But what if the only one X chromosome and only one allele, if it undergoes a mutation, then this male will have no other normal allele of this mutated gene, and this male will be colorblind or hemophilic due to mutated gene. And unlike the female, that the female may be carrier but the male are not carrier, the male may be either normal or colorblind or hemophilic. This chart shows the X-linked dominant inheritance, and this shows the X-linked recessive inheritance that pedigree analysis shows. Here the generation first, second, third and fourth, and as we know that a dominant allele express itself either in homozygous or heterozygous condition. So in dominant condition, this dominant allele will express itself in every generation. So we have deceased individual, either male or female, whatever the case, it means both type of sex will be deceased in every generation. So we can see that right from first generation to fourth generation, as represented with this figure, that every generation has deceased individual, either male or female. That in first generation here the male is defected, and in second generation the females are defected, in third generation again males are defected, in fourth generation the females are defected. So there is no such arrangement that one generation will have only male or one generation will have only female. It is not the case, but the actual fact is that in every generation there is defected individual, both male and female. So this is the condition of the dominant X-linked dominant allele or dominant inheritance. whereas on the right hand side it is the X-linked recessive inheritance, and as we can say that it is the first generation and these are the parents, but these parents are looks normal. These parents may have, and particularly this female or this mother may have a mutated allele on her X chromosome, but she do not express this character in her life, but she transfer this allele to her children's, and here this male is normal, this father is normal, and they produce one daughter. This is daughter and the daughter is normal, but the son is the affected. So it means that this female or this mother has donated her defected X chromosome to her son, and that's why this son is the hemizygous and has only one X chromosome, and that X chromosome is with a mutated allele. It means this son will be defected. And here in third generation again, that it is the expression of disease in son, and her mother and his mother is normal. It means this daughter has contributed again the defected X chromosome to her son, and that's why this her son has become the diseased or defected. And again in fourth generation, that this is a normal daughter of this defected parent, and there is expression of disease in this mother's son. It means that in X-linked recessive condition, that it is not always the case that disease will appear in all generation. However, the disease may appear in some generation, and mostly this is appearance in male, because the male has only one X chromosome, and that mutated gene or mutated allele on that X chromosome has no other normal allele. It's homologous condition, and that's why there is the expression of disease generally in male. So this is the X-linked recessive inheritance. So we know that in X-linked recessive condition, the mother may be either carrier or defected, and the father is either normal or always affected. So what the case and what type of what proportion of offspring will be produced when mother is carrier, as represented by this figure A, and here the mother is carrier but the father is normal. So in this case, that because the mother contributes her X chromosome to her son, and as the son has only one X chromosome, here this son will be affected, but the another son will be normal. And if the X chromosome is contributed to the daughter, then this daughter will be carrier but normal, and another daughter will be normal. So in this case, the 25% of the son will be affected, 25% son will be normal, and 25% girls will be normal but carrier, and another 25% of girls will be normal. So we can say that total 50% girls will be normal, but out of 50%, that 25% will be carrier. And in another case, when the father is affected, because father can be either affected or the normal. So here the father is affected because only one X chromosome with a mutated allele is present. However, the mother is normal, and in that case, that after gamete formation, what happens here, that all the son will be normal because the father's X is transferred to his daughter. So here the girls will be carrier but normal in their life, and all the sons will be normal. Thank you.